Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we have The Killer, directed by David Fincher, starring Michael Fassbender. I am incredibly excited for this film. I've been waiting years for another David Fincher feature film. Big fan, he's one of my favorite directors of all time. This film looks great. It looks like it's David Fincher going back to his, signature style. Mank was very, very, very different to everything he's done before. I really liked Mank. But yeah, no, I'm so excited. So excited for it. Reviews are great, but they're not overwhelmingly great compared to his other films. It seems that the film's quite simple, but I love simple, especially when done right. So, yeah, I don't know. I've got nothing else to say. Without further ado, let's get right into The Killer. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Fincher starting his film with like a TV show intro. I love it. We are so bad. Oh, I love these shots. If The Killer's like the Hitman games, then hell yeah. David.
Amazing how physically exhausting it can be to do nothing.
Great shot.
This work is not for you.
Oh, I love it. I really love it. Sorry. Because it does kind of remind me of Hitman. Great cut.
Consider yourself lucky if our paths never cross. And eventually, one dies. Every second, 1.8.
Love these cuts. So from the trailers, we really don't know much about the film. I mean, at least I don't either. He has like a female friend that maybe he wants to protect. Other than that, it's just about him killing people.
Redundancies, and avoid being seen, which is impossible in the 21st century. There are 1,500 McDonald's in France. It's a dog-eat-dog.
McDonald's.
Survival of the fittest.
Alright, no bread. I just feel like I'm gonna have such an incredible time just watching this man take out loads of people.
This is the cornerstone. Whatever it takes.
I love that shot.
Everything else, the popping.
I love this. This weirdly reminds me of the Batman opening. Oh man. Also, I always love in David Fincher stuff that green, yellowy tint that he has to a lot of the lighting.
It's not Dylan Thomas, but it ought to be.
I wonder if we ever find out why some of these people are his targets. Or at least that man, anyway.
Gradual poisonings.
I do love how, like, I mean, we're 12 minutes in, and I don't know, pretty much all this has just been narration and in the exact same spot almost. And I'm so in.
I've done my 10,000 hours.
Love the way he opened his eyes in. That was cold. And I weirdly like how calming this is so far. I mean, obviously that being a deliberate decision, but it's so interesting that it's a film about some hitman, the killer, and yet we're quite relaxed, at least for now. Who opens their curtains that late? I love the sound as well. I think a lot of films and shows, the sound of guns the weight of it's not really sold very well through the sound. They all usually sound the same. That kind of thing. I don't know what I'm doing, but you get my point. Usually, whenever a character picks up a gun or does something with a gun, it always sounds the same as a million other shows. But here, I like that you could feel the metal rust or the metal clank and the weight of it as well. I like it.
Focus tool keeps the inner voice from wandering. My process is purely logistical.
I love how when we're looking at him, we barely hear the music, and then as we shift from his kind of perspective, looking out.
If I'm effective, it's because of one simple fact.
Don't give a...
Don't give a fuck.
Come on. So is he nervous?
Never yield an advantage.
Oh man. I want to see it. We've had so much build up towards it.
Ask yourself, what's in it for me?
Oh no, I loved how that was done though. I loved how that was done. That looks sick. But oh no! Sorry, I've just forbid empathy then. He could have done it when the curtain was closed though. What if it didn't go in? How awkward it would be for him to just stop his motorcycle, get out, drop it back in again, then move.
WWJ, WBD. What would John Wilkes Booth do?
Yeah, we're 25 minutes in. I think it's really well paced so far. I think David Fincher, I mean, you know, with his films and show being so dark and you know, a lot of them maybe take a while to get to that point where it's like thrilling. I wouldn't say this is necessarily thrilling so far. It's definitely a thriller, but I think the slow burner really works, and I think he's mastered that just because like every single shot is so specific and perfect. So yeah, I think that just all comes together, and his films are just so easy to watch.
Hey.
You'll fly out first thing in the morning, and it is direct to Santo Domingo.
Come on, man. Could have said thanks. Interesting. So if anyone tries it, it falls, lands on the pan and alerts him. Yeah, he's anticipating it. That's why I like that. That's really smart. Yeah, I really like that. Wow, that's really cool. Chapter 2, Dominican Republic, The Hideout. Also, I'm glad Trent Reznor and Atristus Ross is doing the score for this one as well. It's the ongoing collaboration between them and Fincher. Fun. Also, I love this song. I'm glad he stopped the music though, for copyright reasons. You know, he did that for me. So maybe you did have a friend. Yeah, he has a girlfriend?
Oh, no. Shh. Please, don't let her hear your voice during the assault. She stabbed a man. All this time, you've been very kind to my sister. She loves you. I've learned not to pry. Thing like
this will ever be allowed to happen again.
He says forbid empathy, but he seems to give a shit.
Afraid I might say something, but I didn't.
I know you were.
How bad is it? Made up my mind.
I like that. So maybe this is the plot of the film. Trying to, I know, maybe finish the job that he couldn't complete before, while also trying to find whoever did that. And I wonder why they did that. Does that have a link to the first 20 minutes? We'll see. I mean, again, this film has kind of been described as quite simple for David Fincher. So, I'm assuming he did that to give the idea of he was stealing.
Blame you, Leo, for having to bring work home. If you want to succeed.
Take it, man. A freak in the lady, right? From the private airport, that's who?
Best of your recollection.
No problem. I drove him, that's all. Want one? I get out, and I leave the keys. I walk back.
Oh man. Again, I just love how that was done as well. Chapter 3, New Orleans, the lawyer. Okay.
One menu.
Oh, are we gonna meet Tilda Swinton?
Episode of Storage Wars, where they cut the lock on one of mine. Look inside.
What a nice man. He seems to give a little bit more money than they're expecting.
Thank you so much, man. You're a lifesaver.
It's great. I love the attention to detail. Almost convincing me that David Fincher actually might be a psychopath.
I need email time.
Oh my god, he's in this! I love how he's in this and Barry.
Go ahead. Whatever he says. Went home.
Who are they?
Who were they? First of all, who cares you'd actually go home? Not in a million years. The fuck? Disappear. It's just what I assumed you'd have already done.
Everyone, the whole shebang. Because you'd never put it on the cloud.
Trying to intimidate. You're not gonna. There's no upside. You will.
That was cool. Sorry, I've not said much for a little bit. This is great.
Shit. Stick to the plan.
Before I give them to you, I want something in return. I will give you those names. Children need my life and shit.
Each and every step of the way. Ask yourself.
Love the editing.
For me.
Need any help getting rid of that body?
That was funny.
The address.
Because what happened?
Well, we don't know who the client is. Weirdly, I think, other than, I suppose, actually, I mean, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, David Fincher could very much do a sequel to that, seeing as it's, I mean, there's a trilogy. In not too sure what country, Norway, something like that. Sweden, I think it might have been. Social Network, I know that they may do a sequel to that. Don't know how that will work, but, you know. But I also think this, so far, depending on how it ends, I think this, weirdly, could also have a David Fincher sequel. Maybe take a more complex approach. Didn't think about that. Signatures, yeah, you'd have to practice loads of different kinds of signatures. Very nice, David. Florida, the Brutes. I just want to see Tilda Swinton. I want to know what Tilda Swinton's role is. I know a lot of people are disappointed with how small her role is, but I mean, Tilda Swinton's in a lot of things. So. Love. Sorry, I'm gonna whisper because it's a quiet scene. I love the soul score. It's so good. Is this maybe going to be the fight scene? I've heard very good things about the fight scene.
Prepare to be very excited, because this is one of the...
I also love the subtle comedy in Fincher's stuff.
Fight only the battle you're paid to fight.
I love how realistic this is. The sound, the score, the lighting doesn't feel choreographed. It feels so natural, every movement, every swing. Good shot. Hey, he'll kill people, but he will not touch a dog, no matter how dangerous it is.
Living amongst the normies.
I talked quite a bit near the start in the first act of the film, and obviously as things gone on, I've not talked as much, commentating over it. I mean, it is simple. It definitely is a simple film. What a great match cut. You know, I feel like there's there's not too much to say. Not yet anyway. You know, when everything comes together in the end, I'm sure there will be, but for now, it's a lot of the same stuff's kind of happening. Not in a bad way, I just mean, you know, he's waiting for the next person, you know. That's gotta be Tilda. Alright.
Please, and my bottle, while you're at it.
My pleasure.
Afraid it's tainted. You won't imbibe either. What it's worth. I would never have involved your female friend. What happened to her, I had no part. Which, once there was enough, could be used to buy another life. The next day, the hunter returns to the woods. He aims, he fires, the bear falls. You know the deal. He looks up and the smoke's clearing, and there's the bear standing above him, arms crossed. You're not really out here for the hunting, are you? You wouldn't. Why take this risk?
Desperate for conversation.
I'm flattered, but no. You'll remember our conversation. You will. Like flashing before your eyes, it'll be mine.
Trust no one. This is what it takes.
Again, I just love how they do. I love how David just does these kinds of scenes.
Good luck with the Wordle.
It's interesting. There's a lot of subtle. I feel like this character really links with the theme of modern, technology, the modern world, with a killer in there that, there's so much like technology, or, he uses Amazon, he mentions McDonald's, he mentions storage wars, he references all these, modern cultural things, besides McDonald's. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know the direct link or the direct meaning, but I feel like part of the themes and whatnot are very much linked to the idea of him being, very in touch with like the modern world in a way. I wonder how much this guy gets paid. Must be paid a lot. He spends a hell of a lot of money.
The box leave a witness.
I'm so afraid I might see something.
I'm not going to be disappointed in you. I'll be disappointed in me. I'll call you back, Mark. I didn't notice the,
And to ask, do you and I have a problem?
Do we? What? A problem? All right. There's an address. It's, wait. Right after the, incident, I received a phone case. I might wish to arrange for insurance to prevent any blowback. So eventually we agreed that for an additional $150K, the trail could be scrubbed. That was literally all I was told. As far as I'm concerned, we're good.
If I have to come back, I'll find something fitting.
Epilogue. Dominican Republic.
Well, maybe you're not one of the few. Maybe you're just like me. One of the many.
And there we go. There is the killer, David Fincher. Interesting. I feel like a lot of people might not respond to this as well. It's a very unconventional film. While very simple, doesn't have that punch. Third act doesn't feel like a third act. It feels unsatisfying deliberately, not necessarily a flaw, but also could be a flaw in a way. But I loved it. I did. I do have my issues, which is unfortunate, but I am satisfied with the film. Again, I do think it comes back to the idea of I don't know, maybe we're psychopaths. I don't know. It's there's so much to unpack. I think, despite it being simple, I do think there is a lot to unpack. And I feel like a lot of people may disagree with that, and that's okay. But I definitely think there's a lot here to break down, and I'd be interested to watch a breakdown of the film, because again, unconventional, not what I expected. Doesn't, each act didn't feel like I suppose the first act felt like a first act. Second act, I guess it felt like a second act, but then the third act also kind of felt like a second act. But I still am quite satisfied but I don't know. It's, I mean, the filmmaking's incredible, obviously. The filmmaking's incredible. Performance is great. Music was great. I enjoyed the story. I don't know. I don't know. There's not too much for me to say as a review, because I don't know, I've got to think on it. But let me know, Cosplay, what you thought of it. What's your interpretation of the story, the meaning, the decision? I feel like it's almost like No Country for Old Men, in a way. Personally, I think the ending of No Country for Old Men is brilliant. But No Country for Old Men just, like, suddenly kind of ends, and a lot of people were very dissatisfied with the ending for that. I feel like people might respond the same way for this. Not David Fincher's best, definitely not, but had a great time. Great film. Yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Thank you for watching the video. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. My Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, down below if you like to drop all of them. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.